Alright, welcome back to twitch.tv/EvilSqueegee and or youtube.com/EvilSqueegee for another episode of Hell and Darkness Falls. This week, I promise, we are actually getting back in the saddle and running the game good and proper. We had a good, cool flashback episode last time we played that Matt still hasn't watched, and we're not going to let him down.
It was great.
Watching. It was great that Matt didn't watch it. He sucks at life. So, as a quick recap, because it's been a couple of weeks here, alright? The party is on the run. They're in the Underdark. They are escaped slaves from the Drow, and the Drow have been hunting them.
Not that guy.
There is a traitor in the Drow, though. Asha, second in command, High Priestess in training, has betrayed her people on several occasions now in exchange for favors from the slaves. On their way here, a great many adventures have been had. We've got, let's see what the posse currently consists of. The party, I've been playing too much Deadlands. The party currently consists of Katana, whose player is not actually here right now. Katana played by, Plutofairy. And then there is Dan. Dan is our level 4 wizard now?
I think I'm level 4, yeah.
Started out as human, got turned into a Vecnire, custom homebrew template for vampire. With all kinds of cool, like, blood point mechanics and special powers and shit. As he prayed to Vecna to save his life one night, traveling through the Underdark in a moment of desperation, and it worked. Shushar, the pacifist Kuotoa, who came with the party to escort them across the Dark Lake. And then there is Darendil. Darendil is a Quaggoth, some sort of horrendously furry, massive, feral-looking creature somewhere between a silverback gorilla and a werewolf. That has a rage issue. He believes himself to have been a fallen elven prince before he was cursed to take this form. And his personality is such that you would believe him, but he's starting to have his doubts, not that he has expressed this to anyone else, other than Katana. And then finally there's... there is Andreas. 2 destiny tokens, please. No reason. Hi, Zang. Wild magic is a bitch. Thank you, Andreas, for your support. I will tell Plutofairy that in her absence, you are basically Plutofairy, and she will get a kick out of that. And then we've got Darendil. Then we have Malachi. Malachi, whose backstory shall not be spoiled because Matt is a fucking brat who hasn't watched the episode yet. Malachi is touched by Mystra, the goddess of magic, the Gudaline goddess of magic, nonetheless, no less, and he works her will, and does not understand a single bit about magic other than intuiting exactly what it is when he uses it. His powers are beyond his to control, however, and oftentimes they backfire. They have all kinds of strange and unintended effects. He has been sent by Mystra to keep an eye on Dan, the Vecnire wizard, who Mystra believes is who Mystra has prophesied will play a great role in events to come, and why she gives a damn, she hasn't said, and why Dan, she hasn't said either. She has simply sent Malachi to look after the Deinstein, as he is called, valedictorian of Pilsen's Academy of Magic, Pam. Which is how he wound up enslaved to the Drow, because student loans and he couldn't pay back, so they sold him off. As the party crossed across the great expansive caverns of the Underdark, home of the Drow and many more vile and evil things to boot, they've been having adventures, they've been almost dying. Jimja, the gnome spy extraordinaire, is nowhere to be found right now as he slipped away in an effort to I forget why he slipped away. Oh yeah, it's because
he's got history in this town.
He's got history in this town, and he knew that Timshad was not supposed to see him. Apparently, around here, Jimshad's a wanted man, and so he's laying low. The city the party currently finds themselves in is the city of Blades, a Duragar settlement. Duragar are dark dwarves. They have the natural ability to turn invisible, and as such, everybody follows the law at all times, whether or not they can see the guard, because you never know if somebody might be watching.
Big brother.
The party arrived in town.
Only 3 feet tall.
Well, until he enlarges and becomes like 8, 9, 10 feet tall. Like, they turn into huge hulking Duragar. Something they can all do. I don't know why, but they can. And then they arrived in town. They were almost arrested. They saw an opportunity to bribe a guard, which is very unusual. As Jim Jar pointed out, that something is really horribly off and creepy about a corrupt Duergar. That doesn't happen. Duergar don't do the corruption thing. It's not in their blood. But nonetheless, they bribed their way past the first arrest, and as they were entering the district of the city, which is the only place outsiders are allowed, called the Dark Lake District, a rampaging giant with a second head that had just sprouted came in rampaging and freaking out. In the process of bringing this giant down, they A, spared the giant's life, only chopping off the evil head. B, Malachi went down. C, I think the guards.
Malachi then had a duel with the gods.
Basically, I'm getting to that, right? Basically, what wound up happening was the giant goes down, and then another giant comes out and explains. Apparently, the giants are like there's some form of nobility in the city, or they have some sort of clout in the city because the Stone Speaker, presumably the leader of the Stone Giants in the area, would like to see the party for having put a stop to the rampage that this other giant. There's not a lot of details yet. The party assumes they're going to get those details when they see the Stone Speaker. Because they see the Stone Speaker, the Stone Guard, the Duergar in the area, weren't able to arrest the party for disturbing the peace, even though technically they were helping put the giant down. As the party was about to be escorted to the Stone Guard's keep anyways, not under arrest, just to get some information about what had happened, a Flamekeeper approached. The Flamekeeper is apparently some kind of fire church cult that lives in the city that has some kind of clout of its own, and Timbershod, he who keeps the fires of the City of Blades forges alit the entire time of the city's existence, would like to see the outsiders. And it suddenly became apparent that though they were but traveling ex-slaves masquerading themselves as enslaved to one of their own in order to not be sold back to the Drow should their truth be discovered, there's something going on in the City of Blades, and their ability to survive the Underdark thus far has impressed a great number of people who want to take advantage of them. And yet again, the party finds themselves at the crux of some unexplained
Heap
o' trouble. The party here has just been escorted in to meet Timbershod, only to discover that Timbershod is a really fat red dragon. He's not really old yet. He's old, but he is really big. He's really fat. And as the party was led in by the Flamekeeper, the head of the Flamekeepers, the dragon cracked some joke about how he didn't expect, nobody told him we were having surfaces for lunch today. He thought that was fucking hilarious of himself, and gave himself a good sensible chuckle before continuing on.
With that tail, he could literally give himself a pat on the back.
Timbershod. Let me find a voice for Timbershod.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Timbershod. No, I don't want a low gravelly. Timbershod. There we go. Timber. In the back of the throat, deep. Timber, with just a bit of air in the cheeks. Because he's fat. Something sounding jowly. Timbershod. It's back in the upper back of the throat. Timbershod. Not Timbershod. He's not. Okay. Timbershod. No.
Don't forget to add a fat sound to it.
Timbershod. Is that fat enough for you, Matt? I hear you have a lot of experience being fat.
Not as much as Chris.
Oh! Alright, so, Timbershod, this overfed, overweight red dragon, right, is suddenly not what I remember him being. Hold on. Zymax, say something interesting.
Haha, it's funny because I'm Zangback, the Scottish man who plays golf badly.
Golf? What?
You invented golf, right? So I'm just trying to, make it cultural.
Zangmack invented golf, yes.
Funny. Yeah, sure. Why not?
No, I said the Scottish invented golf, not Zang.
I've actually played golf, but that's not really funny or interesting.
You know what? You were not on the ball when you were told to say something funny and interesting.
Okay,
That's
so
correct.
I said it for you.
I'm ready to tee up now, though. Let's go.
All right, so
I tell you what, we'll give you a mulligan.
So, the idea here is you guys have just walked in, right? Timbershot cracks his joke, and Gartakar, which is the name that the Flamekeeper gave you. Gartokar.
Go to the car. Got it.
Gartakar, yep. Gartakar says, foreigners, meet the father of flame, the ever-burning, and the foundry's heart. Timbershod, the wormsmith of Gracklestuck.
Cool.
He bows deeply. You get the idea that you might want to do so as well. Dan, I'm not going to charge you a roll. Red dragons are A, prideful. B, powerful. C, egotistical. And D, always ready to eat you at a moment's notice.
Well, since I'm a Vecnire, I was going to bow anyways out of respect because fire.
Because fire! Seems like a good idea. Katana is going to kneel behind as well. She's gonna opt for the low key approach here because that's a fucking dragon and she's not fucking around here. All right.
Malachi will bow down on one knee, like, mimic the behavior.
Oh yeah, down on one knee then, bowing. I thought I was just doing regular.
Timbershod Timbershad's voices. I should have practiced this beforehand. Timbershad. There we go. Timbershad. Rah. Rah. Blah, 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 Timbershad. I wish to speak with the surface dwellers alone.
I can imagine him like saying Timbershod to himself over and over again, like
Timbershod. This immediately strikes a bit of nervousness that you can easily see into Gartakar's features. But you get the idea, based on the fact that he doesn't protest in the slightest, that Gartakar is not about to do anything but acquiesce. You get the idea that in this situation, Timbershot has all the power, but there's a reason for that nervousness. Why would the Flamekeeper not be comfortable leaving the foreigners alone with the dragon, who's clearly more powerful than they are? Something else is clearly going on, something subtle and unspoken.
Obviously, he's afraid we're going to usurp his place.
He will he will bow. Just, yes, Flamefather. And he will back out, leaving you alone. Timbershod will give a few deep rumbling sniffs of the air. And he says, that includes you, invisible stalkers. Leave, lest I turn you to ash. A few more Duragar
liking him so far.
A few more Duragar will phase out of invisibility, wearing robes of the Flamekeeper's design, much like you are. And they will bow and very frantically leave, regretting their decision to try and remain unnoticed. After a moment, Timbershod will look around, and you can hear the great stone doors at the other end of the hallway around the corner clasping shut, the sound echoing through the stone halls, leaving you alone in a room with a creature that is probably so magically powerful it could crush you with a thought. And Timbershod leans forward with his fat throat resting on his front two paws. And he considers you for a moment. You with the horns. Tell me your name.
Malachi is my name.
From whence do you hail? I wish to know you. I wish to know about you. Tell me. Do try not to be boring.
Uh, I hail from the surface. These lands are unfamiliar to me. I understand that. Um, I fear that I'm not much of an entertainer, or I'm a simple man. Simple means, as you can see, we become garbed in the clothing of your servants. What would you wish to know of the surface?
I wish to know of you, not of your surface world. I don't plan on going to the surface, but I do plan on using you, so describe the tools before me that I may understand how they best be put to use. You are coursing with power. And though you bear a semblance to those of fiendish blood, you smell of humans.
I was, and I'm still bowed with like my head down. I was to be used as a tool for others, and I was saved by none other than Mistra herself.
So you have experience as a lapdog. Excellent.
Her will is done through my actions. Yes,
There's no shame in bowing before creatures greater than yourself.
I owe her my life. Hers is to dictate as she will.
What can you do?
Uh, as you said, there is a power within me. Um, I, I do damage. I cast spells. I am very much a.
You do battle with crude magic. Excellent.
Yes, yeah, that. Yes,
And what of the furry one? Darendil will kinda... He says, you don't strike me as a slave. You strike me as a leader. I can see it in your eyes. You dislike there being one greater than thee. Darendil kinda shrugs. He says, I have tasted power, yes. Authority. I've had it taken from me. If you wish to know what I can do, though I despise them, I find my fists quite effective at solving most of my problems. Timbershod shrugs. He says, a brute. The mind of a king, though. Where you stand. You are cunning. For mortals, anyways. Coming from you, I take that as a compliment. As you should. You bore me, though. What of the dwarf? The katana pipes up. She says, we've got an axe. Or two. Boring. The corpse. What is your name? Yes, you. Step forward that I might smell your stench.
Dan steps forward. Yeah, obligingly, whatever. I'm Dan Einstein.
Where do you hail from? Tell me your story. The dead do not walk without one.
Trying to remember the name of this town he's from. City?
Gauntlgrim.
Gauntlgrim. I'm from Gauntlgrim. I hail from there. Ended up down here, further down in the Underdark, and had a mishap with a Rocktopus, but Vecna saw fit to restore some semblance of life to me.
Why do the gods pay so much attention to you punies? Not just punies in general, but you, this collection of punies.
Oh, it's for the game, obviously.
Well, then I feel it would be unwise of me to argue with the gods about your value. Simple as though you may seem. Blessed of Vecna. Blessed of Mistra. Fine. We shall see how useful you truly are. I have an offer.
Really glad he's passing over.
I have an offer for the lot of you. You will become my agents in Gracklestug. You will report to me before you report to my Flamekeepers.
And
You will do as I say, and you will tell me what happens when you do. And all of this information is to go over the Flamekeepers' heads. I'm glad you see things my way. Inform
the purpose is...
Inform the Flamekeepers that you are reporting to them to do as they see fit to serve the Keepers in their needs.
So it is subterfuge. What? What was that?
You begin to annoy me, corpse. You may leave now. Does anybody have anything else they would like to say before the dragon just decides that you're working for him and decides that you're leaving now? Like,
I would ask what it is that you would have us do. It seems
He said already.
Garthakar.
Pretend to work for the Flamekeepers.
Garthakar will have objectives for you to complete. You will tell him that I deem you worthy of completion of whatever services the Flamekeepers require. And then you will report to me everything. What services they require, what they told you, how they told you, where they sent you, what happened when you went there.
Do you have a circumspect way we can do that? Or is that up to us?
The gods have chosen you for a reason. I put my faith in their judgment.
So it's up to us.
We would be more than willing to do this. This is your house, your rules.
This is... I know.
And if that is all, with your permission, we'll all leave.
Go find Gartfarter, or whatever his name was.
Gartfarter, what?
Gartfarter? What?
I don't know. I couldn't remember his name, just that I had an RR sound in it.
Gartfarter.
It's Gataga.
Oh,
Gataga.
there we go.
Zakhorn.
Thank you for the host, Pukajutsu. I just saw that in chat. I got very in character there. The bot doesn't listen to me. Can one of the mods do that? I'm on the wrong account right now. The Gart Barter. What up, Alham? All right, so you guys are gonna like see yourselves out basically here, right?
Pretty much.
I wasn't going to leave until he said it was okay to do so.
Oh no,
Like,
he
already told us.
he
but
he basically told a lot of you to get the fuck out because he had told you what you were gonna do. Notice how his offer was more of an order, like.
Yeah.
All right, so.
I was just trying to be careful because he told Dan to leave.
Right.
He didn't say the rest of us.
Very carefully not upsetting the fucking red dragon. Okay, so, from there, you guys step out and, Gartakar he's in the chamber that preceded the treasure room. Right, where the dragon is calmly and fatly sitting on his ill-gotten pile of goods. Which, for the record, was impressive. Those of you with magical senses would have noticed that there were magical items buried inside of that treasure hoard. As there should be. On top of coins, crowns, scepters, a throne or two.
I'll message Malachi. You ever wanted to slay a dragon?
Far more treasure in that pile than should ever have existed for a dragon of that age. Dan, having studied dragons extensively in school, would make
I even know their language.
You do. You speak Draconic, and he's big for his age, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, he carries basically the same attitude you would expect, right? Except for he's sitting inside of a cave in the Underdark, not necessarily their most native environment.
Cave part, yes. Underdark, no.
2, he's sitting on a pile of treasure that would be impressive even for, like, an elder worm.
Well, he's got no competition down here. Like, no dragon competition.
So my message reply is, sure, but not this one. No.
So you guys step out of the big stone doors, right? And Gartakar is nervously standing there in all of his like formal armor over his robes with his big book and his giant fucking carved sword with the red and the gold and the ornateness, and he's standing there as a Durgar with his dark skin and his piercing eyes, trying to hide that something isn't sitting well with him right now.
Good news!
Yes?
We're your henchmen!
Yeah.
What he's trying to say is that we are to report to you whilst we are in the city.
That's what I said.
The Flame Father dubbed you mercenaries for the cause?
Said
He
we
deems
were at
worthy
your
enough.
disposal.
To be fair, the Flame Father often uses disposable resources when it suits his needs. Suppose
Like a cheap papyrus scroll.
He says, well, I imagine you won't be staying in the city for long, so there is that.
Well, we do have a certain matter to attend to. Along with a few of our own, of course.
Naturally. If you're going to be working for us, then I can only assume you'll be needing badges. You have the robes, you have the markings. The badges will be what let you throughout the city to roam as you need. In so much as you can, though you will be wearing these badges, don't expect them to save you everywhere. You are outsiders, after all. Now, if Tempeshod has deigned hire you for mercenary work, then I'm going to assume, given his interest in you from the get-go, that he's not interested in making you do simple chores. We have acolytes for those. So if you'll follow me...
I do clean stuff really well, though. Just in case it comes up. I don't know.
Are these acolytes at our disposal as well?
No.
Oh yeah, how much authority do we have with the badges and everything?
The badge does not give you authority. It gives you permission.
How much authority do we get from serving you? And, you know, the, Tim Rod, oh crap.
The Flame Father.
Yes, him!
You are authorized to do as you are instructed.
Cool.
Gracklestug
That's
is not a...
Overriding authority, like, we were told to do this, so you can GTFO.
Gracklestug is not a city that exists in a perpetual state of chaos. It has thrived and become the capital that it is because of our laws and order. As such, if you are going to operate in its service, you too...
money shot.
A botch for Timber Derp. Thank you, Andreas. This is as the city has functioned law and order, it would suit you well when you act in its service to behave in a similar fashion. You are authorized to do as you are told. You are not authorized to do things you are not told to do. What you are told to do, you should accomplish with as much order and lawfulness as possible.
Ah, okay, yeah, we can do that. We're good at decorum.
He will lead you into a side chamber and and the GM will quickly review what's supposed to happen here, because I've had all the time in the world to do show prep and game prep and stuff.
But instead you were working on ACs and switch boxes and stuff instead of what you were supposed to be doing.
Am I going to have, like, I mean, we're at top of the
I'm
hour
not
anyway,
the only one!
Am I going to have some chance to, like, recover some hit points, maybe?
If you guys want to take a short rest while he's preparing to find out what it is you guys need to do, go ahead. However, once he's cut you loose, you'll probably have the opportunity to go into the city and, like, take a long rest at an inn or something like that. Like, once this is, unless you want to go straight to the fucking to the Stone Speaker. But we're not there yet. What we're gonna do here is the party is about to be told what it is the Flamekeepers need them to do. All right. However, I don't remember the exact details of what the party needs them to do. Because it has been a month since I looked at this shit.
You mean of what the Duragar need them to do?
No, the Flamekeepers.
Yeah, but you said party.
Oh, well, to be honest, the Flamekeepers are kind of my party. That's my political affiliation. Member of the Flamekeepers
no, that
party.
totally makes sense.
All right.
Yeah.
The only things that I can think of that we have to do is we need to go speak to the Stone Speaker.
Stone Speaker, yeah, sure.
He's summoned us. We've got a kind of catch the guards who we dropped out. We dropped him in it, basically, because of portents, where we had the evidence that he was trying to bribe us.
Yeah,
so
the guard that you bribed, like you've been
you've
been instructed to go through with the bribe in order to report the corruption to the Flamekeepers. Did
he not say that he was able to get us, like, a close resemblance to Haraxes as well to be used in this? The Flamekeeper guy.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Okay, just to clarify, like, I just wanted to make sure that wasn't on us to go and be like, shit, we need to do that.
I am okay with that. All right, so.
And, yeah, on the way over to Timbershod, we kind of, like, messaged Jimjar to be like, hey, this is okay for us, right? And he's like, yeah. It's like, and for you? And he's like, no, I need to disappear.
Right.
So we did the whole distraction, dropped the shit in it, and Jimjar escapes.
So who needs
he is now very, very wanted.
Who needs to step away for top of the hour? Alright, welcome to twitch.tv/EvilSqueegee. I'm EvilSqueegee Matt. You can take your hands off your head, and that's MRM Dubois, Zang
They were
Mac.
over there!
Obviously, Pluto Fairy's not with us today. It's been a pretty chaotic couple of weekends for her. She's had some shit to do. So, party's carrying on. I am going to say that after Katana's done quietly listening to the quest giving, she'll probably set off to go, like, get us rooms in the inn or whatever, and she just won't be present with us.
So she'll do the responsible stuff.
Yeah, she'll do the responsible stuff because she's basically the group's mom. So, we've got thank you so much for that donation there, Andreas. More botches for Zangmak. Let's get into this. You guys were just being dismissed by Timbershod, and you were being You know, I'm gonna move the group here since this isn't actually where we are at anymore. I'm gonna move the group onto a nope, not that map. Oh dear God, not that map. This map. Oh, it's loading. It's loading again. What the fuck? Oh, okay, here we go. Alright, so.
TGN map.
TGN. Alright, so the idea here, okay, is that Gardecar, I actually, thank you, Matt, Go to the Car is actually how I am remembering his name now. Gardecar will escort the group into a chamber that is sealed, and he will mutter a few words in Dwarven with an arcane gesture of his hand. And there will be a slight shimmer of magic. If you guys want to identify what that is, you can go ahead and roll Arcana.
Yes! Oh, hang on, let me check the sheet then.
Let me check this sheet then! Do you botch? Do you crit?
No, I crit because of Robo.
Alright, that is in fact a very powerful psionic ability. It's not actually magic. But you've studied enough in college to identify this is like anything that, there is no way that even Timbershot can hear what is being discussed in this chamber right now. Right.
Interesting.
I
don't suppose I was able to lift the password or whatever it is.
The password?
From or whatever it is that he did to activate the door. That was magical or psionic.
This ability requires psionic gifts to function that you do not have. You can totally like understand and memorize the motions and stuff, but unless you have that special spark of psionic ability, it's not going to work for you.
Message is basically telepathy, so
that's not psionic though. That's magical. Psionics are born from within. Magic comes from without. The idea is like even a sorcerer who has, their magic comes from within. That's not psionic still because it still functions by manipulating the energies of magic, whereas psionics is basically self-perfection to an obscene level that develops strange abilities
right.
as psychics. So
I got touched by Mystery in a special place to be able to cast spells. It wasn't innate.
Right.
I know.
But you can identify that, and that's interesting. Duergar are just innately psionic creatures. Not all of them have powerful gifts, so it would make sense that the ones that you see that are in charge are probably psionically potent, and that would then lend itself, because there are different factions within the city. Perhaps the different factions are divided in some fashion with a recurring pattern as to what psionic gifts they have. So he will, once the door is closed, he will sit down at a table, right, and he will offer everybody refreshments.
And I'll partake,
yeah.
unless there's, blood on the table.
There's no blood on the table. Malachi! You partake of the drink? Yeah?
Chug!
I should. Yeah.
Alright.
Okay.
So what I'm going to need you guys to do is I'm going to need you guys to roll me... Gitana can't partake of the refreshments because they are alcoholic and she can't drink. So she's going to be very upset. Meanwhile, I'm going to need you to roll me Constitution saves for both yourself and Darendil, Zangmak, because this is some fucking potent, rich dwarven shit you are being offered.
Well, I would love to roll. I would. However, I crit thanks to Zang's dad.
Really?
Who is, I believe,
Yes.
Irene. So, thank you very much for that, Zang's dad.
Oh, who writes Zang's dad in the name for the donations? What is this? All right, so
I believe it's when my parents and his parents were having a face-off.
And I don't have access. Oh wait, no, maybe I do.
All right, so you are escorted
And
in.
Darendil?
Darendil needs to roll as well. I don't think he has any crits or botches lined up, so go ahead and give me a con save roll. That'll be good enough. All right, so you managed to not wind up feeling all that tipsy, and as a matter of fact, Malachi, because you unnaturally crit that, I'm supposed to come up with some nice icing on top. I'm gonna give you all natural charisma rolls for the duration of the scene with advantage. All right.
That's not all natural
Because
if it's
you
got
are-
advantage. But
you
look
are-
at how happy he is. Wow.
Well, that's because I know he's got a shitload of botches lined up. But you know, you drink the drink and you hit that just that right level of like cruising on the, you know, you relax, you get the confidence, you're not quite, you know, everything's it's really like, it's lubrication, right? It makes everything run smooth, and you can totally see why the Duergar like this shit, right? And basically what goes on is that Gardecar will turn and he says, I know you're outsiders, so this doesn't necessarily seem apparent to you right off the bat. But there is a lot of trouble going on in the City of Blades right now. The Flamekeepers have recently lost much face to the damnable Grey Ghosts. The Grey Ghosts, as I'm certain you aren't aware, are a faction of assassins that live within the city's walls. Though we cannot find them, though we do not know where they are or who runs them, they still hold political sway within the city simply by being useful. However, their usefulness is coming to an end, and they have started to concoct theories of their own on how the city should be run. They have gone rogue, they have gone renegade, and we need to put a stop to them.
Any particular pattern of behavior? Like, in the manner in which they've gone rogue or renegade or whatever.
Well, first off, the people they've been assassinating as of late have strayed from their usual work, where once they would assassinate a political figure, take down somebody who was causing trouble, or somebody who might take down the key component for a political campaign, or a key speaker on a particular issue. Those targets make sense. Even if you can't prove who hired them, you can pretty much see what's going on. But common folk? Civilians?
What about their methods?
Their methods
that
have always
changed?
been the same.
So that hasn't undergone any recent shifts.
No, though they did steal something not just of value, but of integral and essential import to the Flamekeepers. And it has caused us much trouble in the courtrooms and in the proceedings. Our most valuable possession has been taken from us, and the Grey Ghosts are clearly to blame, and yet we have yet to recover it. We have yet to do anything about it. We have yet to know exactly what happened. As I'm certain you are capable of deducing, this casts a great many of Shadow's worth of doubt as to our competence and our strength and our security, all of which are essential to holding power within the City of Blades. So, your mission, as declared by the Flame Father himself, is to serve us, and I give unto you a mission that only an outsider could actually risk completing. You will find the Grey Ghosts. You will collect what was taken from us. You will find out what is going on. I do not trust them any longer. They are losing their minds. Something is happening, and I do not think it's a good something. If you ask me, there's been a great psionic disturbance in the world.
In the Force! Oh, so wait, no, the world. Okay, never mind.
You may, in your ungifted minds, think of it as a hole being torn in reality, swallowing everything. It echoes through the stones, it echoes through the air.
Like an abyss?
I suppose you might miscall it that, yes. I think the Grey Ghosts are behind it. Whatever has caused their erratic behavior, whatever has turned them from political tools to thieves and murderers, has something to do with this psionic disturbance. I am sure of it. And because I am so certain, I would not risk my own men. But you are not my men.
We are very disposable.
In the pursuit of identifying the location of, the goals of, and the inner workings of the Grey Ghosts, you may have these. And he will hold out a badge for everybody present.
Well, what are we authorized to be able to do?
He says,
Like, how much leeway do we got?
well, primarily, these badges will allow you to move throughout the city as opposed to being restricted in just the Dark Lake District. He kind of like skitters them across. They're very finely crafted, made from raw gold. Each of them with the Flame Keeper's symbol of a... It's a cross between like a fireball and a dragon's head. Right? He says, I do not authorize you to partake in illegal activities. However, I do authorize you to locate them as need be. You may traverse the city. However, as you were doing this, because of the nature of the people that you are hunting, I would advise you not making a scene of it. If the Grey Ghosts learn that you are seeking their secrets, I would not expect to see you again. And the more obvious you are in your pursuit, the more rapidly and more completely I would expect your annihilation to arrive.
I have a couple of questions, if I may.
You may.
What did they steal? We, of course, getting it back is the priority, but we don't know what we are getting back. Therefore, I would not wish to go to all this effort to come back empty-handed.
Or fooled by a decoy.
Exactly.
He casts a somewhat uncertain glance at the doors, where he sealed the room off so that Timbershod couldn't listen in. He says, an egg. A dragon egg.
Yeah, that could be problematic.
He says the egg is part of our sacred rituals, rites, and modus operandi.
Oh, money shot.
Andreas is $10. Botches. Zang, is it RIP yet?
Welcome back, Andreas.
He says, is that sufficient information, or do you require more?
A dragon egg would give you control over... Never mind. It's fine. My question is of completely separate nature. You will recall that you put out word for my slave who departed on the way here. Seemed to have got lost. As you can see, he is the stealthier of our number, and probably the one most suited to work of this nature.
Dan messages
You are...
Malachi. No, I totally have a plan.
It's okay. Let me roll with this first. I'll message back. If I were to request a pardon for, I assume he disappeared for reasons of history in this city. I have given him no reason to run. However, if indeed he has caused trouble here in the past, I understand that justice must be served. However, in order to complete our task, as we have been used as tools for yourself and Timbershod, he would be of useful in that regard to us. He would be a tool that I would benefit in able to get your treasure back?
You're basically saying, hey, if you want me to do this, do this, right? Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Are the Scots always so roundabout about making a proposal?
No, I'm just trying to be like diplomatic-y type stuff. Persuasion
It's
is a
called
charisma.
role-playing,
That's-
man. I know it's difficult for you to handle, right?
I'm just saying,
So
never
this,
go into
so
politics.
this is natural, or this
is natural with advantage because it's a charisma-based check.
So 15.
All right, you got a 15. He says, well, firstly, if your slave has a history here, that's none of my business. Second, I'm not giving an extra badge to you to do with as you see fit. Do you take me for a fool?
Actually,
However,
just out of curiosity, like not asking for it, just wondering why.
because I don't trust you.
Well, what are we gonna do with it?
However, my men, at the very least, can look the other way should they encounter your rebellious child. That much I can give you.
Okay. I appreciate that. I appreciate it is above and beyond what is normally required for outsiders, but these are delicate matters, and I appreciate that.
You can start your search in the West Cleft. A Darrow by the name of Droki has been identified as a point of contact for the Grey Ghosts.
Oh. Scratch that plan I had.
If you can find Droki, he's got a very distinctive hat. And if you can track the son of a bitch, he may lead you directly to the Grey Ghosts. If not,
Wait, have we seen this guy before?
Droki? No.
I thought you mentioned something in the market, but sorry, carry on.
Oh, did I? I don't think I did. I might have.
Anyway, irrespective, it's fine.
This is, find Droki. Find the Grey Ghosts. Get me my egg. And then return here. Now, I'm certain you are eager to settle into the city, with business of your own to attend to. I would appreciate expedience in these matters, as much as you can afford. Then he will.
How long?
He will snap his fingers and the doors will swing open.
With regards to the other matter which we discussed on the way here, how long will it take for arrangements to be made for the forgeries?
In several hours, you go to the market. Beneath the stalactite Ramach. There, an arms dealer will be waiting for you. Show him the badge. Tell him you are here for the package. And he will give it to you.
I don't suppose you have like a library or something in the city.
We do. Not that you would have access to it. Why do you ask?
I thought that's what the badges were for.
The badges get you out of the Dark Lake District. They are not carte blanche to infiltrate and infect every part of the city that you wish.
Oh. Well, I wanted to do arcane research, that's all. Maybe a shop or something.
When you have proven your usefulness to the Flamekeepers, the Flamekeepers will be much more eager to assist you in those matters.
Go.
He will hold his hand out towards the door. He says, I leave you now, free men. Congratulations. Do try and not get swallowed whole by the Stone Guard.
I was like, she's a girl. No, it's fine. Thank you for your time and your consideration, and we'll get back to you with the other things. I'm gonna bow my head and head out.
Hey, I got a question. How far away from Timbershot are we?
How far away from Timbershot are you?
Yes.
That is good question. Let me bust out measuring tool and find the answer for you, inquisitive people. I don't like it when fucking people ask me questions like this out of the blue without explaining it. You are... Oh shit, that is... I am seeing...
Rephrase the question. Are you within whatever spell he's looking to cast?
Are you
range?
is he within 120 feet?
I actually need to double check that. You are over 140 feet away.
Just wondering how far I would have to go. Like, can I casually walk past a wall so I'm in range?
No, it does not look like the map allows for that. Sorry. You do know you'll have the chance to speak to Timbershot, because when you arrive, you'll be like, we're here to report to Timbershot.
Well, yeah, but the problem is that he doesn't want us letting the Flamekeepers know that we're reporting directly to him.
We're assuming Timbershot is a he.
I'm not. I'm just using him because it's convenient.
So, where do you guys go as you exit Timbershot's cave?
As we
Exit. I see
exit?
what you did there. Yeah, was that on
Wow.
purpose?
Well, Gutana was off looking for a...
Katana's gonna go, yeah, she's gonna go to the Dark Lake
Yeah,
District
looking
and find
for
the outsider
Place
inn.
for us to sleep.
Yep.
Did Jimja give us any way of contacting him?
I think he said we'll meet up here at a certain time.
While we're having downtime, then I would like to take him an hour to transform Jeeves back into a bat.
All right.
What is he at the moment?
He's a cat and in extra dimensional space.
You may do so.
Yay!
So your current objectives, your pursuit, you could see the Stone Speaker. However, out of character, you might want to have Gatan along for that one, given that she was the one who actually decapitated the demonic head.
So we need to find this Darrow guy, Drekor, or whatever his name.
Drogi,
The good
okay.
guy with the funny hat.
There's-
Drogi, yeah.
there's
I
Drogi.
almost got it.
And then there's also there was also the forgeries, which you just have to wait a couple of hours, pick up the package.
Yeah, let's do the forgery.
Thing is, I don't want to be too public about what we're doing or like just wandering around, because that just gives us opportunity for the stone guard to just
Don't you
jump
want
us.
to see like the shots, the shops?
You could hit the bazaar. Exchange,
Yeah.
you know, your treasures for coins and stuff.
That's a fair point. We could go do that. Like,
I want to go.
What-
I want to go looking for magical texts in particular.
I think it's best we don't split up any more than we are at the moment.
Yeah. No, you guys should definitely go to the bazaar together.
Oh,
Andres,
but yeah.
$5 says, don't assign genders when you don't know for sure. Botch for Dan, Kappa.
Oh, damn it! I didn't assign a gender.
We're not even certain if Dan is a girl yet.
It's true. Could be that he is.
Alright, so you guys want to go to the
Or he's
market.
not.
The market, as you guys enter, remember that Gracklstock is perpetually covered in smoke. It is only lit by the pulsing orange and red lights of the fires of the forges that exist inside the giant hollowed-out stalactites that hang down from the ceiling. There is a constant bustle and hustle. The crowd is thick. The throngs of people that just flow like a river around this constant weaving maze of stalagmites and market carts and tents, and there's merchants shouting prices and wares and all kinds of stuff. You can find pretty much anything you could possibly want to purchase here at this market. legal or otherwise. There is a very small number of people here who are not Duergar. The city of Blades does, for all of its central capacity as a trade hub in the Underdark, really doesn't like outsiders all that much, and so typically the people who are here strictly for business, and they are only here as long as their business demands of them before they get the fuck out of Dodge, because fuck's sticking around. So what are each of you looking for? We'll start with Dan. Dan, you're looking for magical text? What kind of magical text are you looking for? Out of character, what are you looking to accomplish?
I'm looking for see invisibility, so I can copy it in my spellbook and start preparing that shit, because we're surrounded by invisible things.
Alright.
I'm also looking for anyone who has anything on this particular list, which happens to be from a rubbing back in a cave, back in the temple of Jubilex.
Alright, so you're looking for... Okay. Go ahead and roll me search. That's perception, actually, is what it is. And God, I'm never going to break myself with those 3.5 habits. I'm just never going to do it. Go ahead and roll me perception.
Okay, I will botch because of Andres.
Okay, well, you see, the thing is that see invisibility would be a spell that I think is very reasonably outlawed in the city.
Right?
And so you will manage to not only find anybody selling... You will not find anybody selling the scroll, but you will be reported to the guards as somebody seeking magical contraband.
I didn't know it was illegal at the time.
So we'll handle you in a minute while you think of what the fuck you're going to be doing.
Fuck
because
me.
Malachi...
What about the others? What about the other stuff on my list of ritual thingies?
Oh, you are going to because this is all a botch here. As you are, you're asking. Hey,
so my botch is going to build on my botch from earlier.
Do you have the spell? Do you have the spell? Okay. And you don't know this, but again, because the Duergar are extremely fond of their laws and reporting people who break them. You're building yourself a small reputation in the eyes of the guards that are walking around, right? And as you approach the next merchant who's selling scrolls and tomes and books and, long forgotten artifacts, of course, he hypes them up a lot more. Half the stuff he's selling is just bullshit, random, cookbooks or, journals from people. It's not... But he doesn't know that, right? He just...
Check out this secret recipe of alchemy, and it's for muffins.
Well, I mean, basically, it's because, he can't read the fucking things. He's just collected this stuff from ruins or had adventurers sell it to him, right? You ever wonder what happens to those gray items that you pick up off corpses all the time, right? This is where they go. And so, but you pick out, ooh, maybe, you see some of the runes and there is some old forgotten stuff. He has some things that he doesn't recognize the value of, and you can see that immediately. But as you are approaching this place, a drow beats you to it.
Oh, shit!
This drow is wearing a tabard that identifies them as from Velkenvir.
Fuck me!
So, what do you do in order to not be seen by the drow?
Oh, well, I knew this was coming after looking in the demon's blood, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to duck behind a stall and start walking through a twisty-turny alley where he can't find me while botching the hell out of his perception check.
All right. So you're gonna make a duck and weaving path. You aren't surprised to see a drow here at all. Dan is a diviner. A diviner is somebody who foretells the future, foretells what will come. And though you might not know exactly what it means when you see it, you're typically prepared. So what is it that you did in preparation for this, knowing that there was a chance that you might be spotted by the drow?
I was muted. I had put together a little whistler toy that one of my gnome parents had shown me gnome foster parents had shown me how to make.
Yep.
It's a cool little thing. It's basically, it makes a whistling sound as you hurl it through the air, and it can cause a nice distraction or whatever. So I just made it in my spare time, take it out of my pocket. Right past the drow's head.
Right, so this goes whipping past his head. What? And that's when you take your chance to duck behind and start taking this winding path. As you do that, though, the drow, completely unaware of your existence because he's been distracted by this whistling toy. You are taking this winding path between the stalls and hugging the stalagmites and kind of like trying to blend in with the taller people, which is difficult to do because you're a human and everybody here is a Duergar, right? So you stand out a little bit.
And they're all invisible.
You stand out a little bit, and
stand out against the invisible people? No shit.
You start to notice that you are being followed and watched by Stone Guard. They're being subtle about it, but you pick up on it.
Stone Guard is. That figures. Damn it.
So, Dan, while you're figuring out what you're going to do about the fact that you are being followed, we're going to flip the camera over to Malachi. Malachi, what was it you were looking to buy, sell?
So I'm looking to basically just replace like basic equipment. I was down to like a belt, I think, from before. But also I want to see, like, because I'm not the only one that's in the party left, am I? Like, so Derendil is here, and Shushar is here.
Jimjar can be in the crowd.
Jimjar is around somewhere. Yeah, basically I want to just find some basic clothing, because at the moment the only gear I have is the stuff I'm wearing. So I want to get like an adventurous pack and just redo all of that stuff.
How much money do you have?
I have the bag of gems that Jimjar gave me.
Okay.
And however much I would have started with, I don't know.
Okay. I think we'll start you off with like 50 gold.
Okay, cool.
Those gems, by the way, you will get in the process of haggling and selling and so on from some Snurfnedlin merchant. 500 gold pieces. That is how much you have to spend. You're looking to get packs, adventuring gear. Gear up, go ahead. Like, it's all, if it's in the player's handbook, you can afford it. And you can afford it, you can have it. Like, this is the
player. Yeah, for whoever else needs it as well. This isn't just my stuff to spend. So
totally.
Yeah.
Dan, did you have any stuff to sell?
I don't think so. Dan's been traveling awfully light.
Oh, you guys have picked up some loot on your adventures, right? Like, I know Katana has, because she's used it to solve problems on multiple occasions.
I think I've been giving her all my stuff. Like, that I didn't need for casting spells.
Leave it to Matt to be like, is this immediately useful for magic? I don't want it then.
Right?
Never mind that he might actually want to sell it to get money to buy scrolls to copy into his spellbook or something.
Yeah, he might have forgotten about that.
To be fair, Dan has never been good with managing his money. That's how he got down here in the first place.
He's got like 5 or 6 pieces of jade that he needed for casting Magic Mouth, but he then lost the ability to cast it because of a random happenstance. I think Vecna got pissed at him or something.
Okay. So
he's got like 5 or 6 pieces of jade.
We'll say that before you wind up drawing too much unwanted attention to yourself, you'll be able to hawk off as many of those as you would like. I think the jade is 100 gold piece a pop.
I think it's 50.
It's 50 gold piece a pop. Okay, yeah, that works. And then Zang, you'll be able to acquire whatever basics you would like to off that 500 gold. Katana not being with you doesn't have the chance to sell her loot right now. She'll get that chance later, presumably. Derendil will be sticking by Malachi, and as Dan starts to weave in and out, Derendil will lean down and says, Master Malachi. And he will nod in Dan's direction. He says, it would seem our wizardly friend has attracted undue attention to himself.
We should go get him. It's not wise for him to... Like, he looks as though he's heading out of the market, right? Like, down some windy...
Oh, no, it's only 10 GB.
So, yeah, we should not let him go alone. I believe that a valid tactic for the guard would possibly be to divide and conquer. Also, whilst like, do I know anything about the Darrow?
The Darrow are a small, a very small gnome-like people that are irrevocably insane. All of them. Batshit crazy. You've had one in your group this whole time. Calls himself Bapito. He's been in the back group of slaves, not in the scouting party that you're in. The problem with Bapito is that A, he tends to creep people out, and B, he doesn't seem to be insane at all. So we haven't really spent too much time with him, because nobody wants to spend too much time with him.
Okay, cool.
What little behavior we have seen out of Bapito has been, he seems very much the egomaniac type. Megalomaniac, where, like, he takes people under his wing, and people, you know, like, meals that were cooked for the whole group, he's interpreted as cooked for him. Right, that he shares with the group, conveniently, right, like...
Right. So he twists
He's not allowed to
stuff
cook.
around him.
Yeah,
He's not?
We don't let him cook, we
No,
don't let him
he's
do
not.
first aid. Those are the two things we do not, under any circumstances, let him do.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think it wise not to let him be on his own, especially given his situation.
And what would you propose we do to distract the gods as he makes his escape? Obviously, we cannot ourselves give the gods a reason to think we should be arrested. Jim Jaw says, hey, speak to yourself.
Oh, hey. Well, welcome back to the group.
I've been here for a minute or two. Thanks.
Jim Jar, just the man. What would you suggest in a situation such as this?
He says, well, I suppose I could strike again, yeah?
On that note, you're good with the Flamekeepers, or at least they're prepared to look the other way with things.
Well, suppose it's about time I, get to work then, eh?
Okay, then we'll. Okay.
I'm a go.
Oh, keep an eye out for a Darrow, by the way.
A Darrow? They all spend their time in the West Cleft.
Okay, specifically one called Droki. Do you know him?
Nah. But I'll keep an eye out.
Tell him he has a hat.
He has a hat.
Alright. Keep an eye out for a crazy man in a hat. Got it? He's going that way. And he points at Dan.
Okay, go do your thing.
So Jimja is gonna go, and he's gonna sneak off, and he's gonna sneak away into the crowd, and then a moment later, right, Dan, you are weaving through the crowds trying to elude these guards, but these guards are proving much more difficult to elude than you had thought.
I was trying to elude the drow, so that's why I didn't elude the guards. I
Right.
imagine.
You know, you're trying to not be seen by the drow, and the guards are taking advantage of the fact that they are not your primary concern at the moment, and then all of a sudden there will be this shrill, piercing whistle, right? And Jimjar will be standing on top of a tent, right? And you look up, and there's Jimjar, and he says, "Oi! Remember me!" And then he will shoot a couple of shots off from his crossbow, right? And each one is fiery. Like he's got little torches attached to his bolt. Boom, boom, boom. And a couple of the tents will light up on fire. He says, "Adios!" And he'll jump off, and he'll land on the ground and just fucking take off running. And all of the guards will stop and look and start chasing after Jimjar.
So
Who
now
has a history of arson.
he's a super spy, Speedy Gonzalez.
And
Arsonist.
off he will go! However, he will have saved Dan from suffering too much. For now. I'm certain that your reputation for wanting illegal contraband will come back to haunt you later. However,
Probably.
for the time being, it would seem that you are not about to be arrested any longer.
It's an
We should
improvement.
go to where Dan is and get him back into the safety of a group again.
So the group will reunite, and then what? You've had the chance to go shopping. You've had the chance to buy and sell.
I don't have anything I want here.
Oh, I was able to pick up some clothes and some basic stuff. What did you need?
I saw a drow, by the way. Heads up. From Valkenvir. So they're in the city. Surprise.
Okay.
Hey, how do you think the people hire these ghost assassin guys anyway?
Well, the MO was prior to recently was supposed to be like nobility.
Yeah, I know, but
Get
so
that
how do you
right?
hire them? Next question.
So my family has like a background in certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, Riri.
is there anywhere around here that would possibly? I'm not saying this. You would know this if you watched the day.
I know.
Is there anywhere around here that would that just raises a flag as like this is a den of stinking evil? Like, yeah.
No.
Shit.
The difficulty in finding that kind of a place in the City of Blades is that the people here are very different than they are on the surface. Going to a place to hire somebody, not something's really going to happen, because remember, the guards can be invisible.
Yep.
What are you going to do? Find a hiding spot from them?
So
I think it's more of a who you know than a where to go kind of situation.
Precisely.
So Malachi, working theory on what's going on with these ghost assassin types. Do you
Should
have
we
one?
be talking about things like this in the open? I mean, I know that there's
Dan
that
looks
invisibility
around and is like,
stuff going on,
because
but
we're
yeah.
gonna be able to be ignored by the invisible guards, right? I mean, because we have a secret hidey hole that cuts off all sound to the outside.
But it's probably not a secret anymore.
I don't
They
think it
might
was-
not have known about that, but okay.
Well, Dan is terrible at keeping secrets.
Oh, that's classic.
So Dan's just going to keep on steamrolling through and say, I think that they might be being affected by
Superdog
that major
events.
the demon with the
Superdog
recent
events.
events. Yeah, exactly. What's his face?
So,
oh crap.
yeah.
What is his name? I forget.
What,
Gragonstock. Demogorgon. Yeah, that's the one.
Well, that's not what they
Monkey with
called
two
it, but
heads.
yeah.
No, it's Demogorgon. Yeah, no. Well, they called it Limagugoon in Slubladup. I'm just saying it's getting around, and I bet it's that.
It does seem to be affecting people here. Maybe we should go and have words with the Stone Speaker before we settle down.
But we're not
If
doing
he's
that without Katana, so
Yeah, we need to find Katana and then go do that.
It's been about as much time as would need to pass for your package to be ready.
we should do that.
We're in a market. Are we in the market or are we?
Yes, you're in the
Yeah,
market.
okay.
Like, you happen
Yeah,
to be in the
let's-
area, the time happens to be right, the GM totally isn't railroading you with opportunity.
Hey, if it's there, we need to.
He hasn't come out and said, "Do my plot."
I'm just bitter about Thursdays. Fuck off.
Yeah, about that.
But, okay,
So I'm gonna see Timbershow. No, I'm not. I'm just fuck it. So we're gonna go to Rochmach Market.
Rachma. All right, so you go in the Rachma, blah, 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 whatever the fuck I called it, right? And
Flashback badges.
mountain season, go! Exactly, Pyromancy. Exactly. Pyromancy knows what's going on. So here's what's gonna happen, right? You guys head to the appointed place at the appointed time, all right? And as you're approaching, it's a forge, right? I mean, or it's not. The forgery isn't happening here, right? But there's a tent and there's like racks of weapons upon weapons upon weapons and armor and all kinds of stuff, right? And what you're noticing as you approach is that the majority of these things were not crafted here. You can tell because everybody else is selling weapons forged in the City of Blades, so they're done with, Duragar craftsmanship, and this is a whole bunch of getting the idea that these weapons, just by looking at them, these are imports. Let's say elven weapons, drow weapons, orcish weaponry. A lot of this stuff comes from the surface, right? And there's a Duragar, kind of like hunched over, keeping track of something in a book or whatever. And as you approach, what do you say?
Are these weapons free range?
What?
Are these gluten-free axes? So, so what do you say to catch the Duragar's attention?
So,
I said it already.
are you walking in and saying that?
Is that what you're saying? Right?
What?
And the Duragar will turn around. What? And as he turns around, you're going to recognize Hemeth. Hemeth was the Duragar who was going to be sacrificed in Slubladop that you guys cut loose.
Yes!
And on that note, we're going to be right back because it's top of the hour. Alright, welcome back to twitch.tv/EvilSqueegee/YouTube/ blah blah blah, EvilSqueegee blah 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 blah, Unnatural Dice blah blah, YouTube blah blah, Twitter blah blah, Steam blah 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 blah, Twitch blah blah,
Retweet.
Retweet blah blah blah, giveaway blah blah blah, blah blah Zangmac blah blah map, blah blah D&D, blah blah Hemeth. So, you guys had just turned around as you were headed up to the market, right, to the specific place, time and a place where an arms dealer was said to be in league with the Flamekeepers, giving you forgeries of Gut and Check, Katana's two axes, in order to use them to try and, like, pinch a bribe, to hunt down some corruption inside the Stone Guard. Right? Getting yourselves all nice and mingled up in the politics of the City of Blades. You haven't even been here for a day yet, and you are already giving bribes to not be arrested, and then turning the people in who are being corrupt to an alternative faction, who then ask you to go in undercover as a sting. Right?
We are balls deep in that politics.
You are seriously balls deep in this
got
shit.
Skills.
What do you mean we? Alright. So
Yeah! We
Thank you, Andreas. I
got
appreciate it.
skill.
I will
Alright,
try to
so-
put them to good use.
So here's the deal, okay? You guys are approaching. Hemeth turns around and immediately recognizes Stan. He says, "Hey, it's you! The hell are you still doing alive?" He says that with a smile. And then you respond muted.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to say, hey, it's you. And what are you still doing alive?
He says, "Oh, I'm resourceful.
Yeah.
What can I do you for?"
We have a thing.
We're here to pick up a package, and I'll show him the thing.
Oh, fancy you. Alright. He puts like they're fucking dead set replicas. Right. Puts them down. He says,
So, Hemeth,
yeah.
what is going on in this city? It sounds like it's gone crazy.
I don't think you're wrong. I think the place is downright gone crazy. Folks not acting themselves. I mean, take a look at this. Look at that guy. Watch. Watch that guy. And he points at a merchant, right? And the merchant is, he's offering, he offers, like 10 gold for this thing. And the guy's like, all right, I'll pay you 10 gold. He says, what do you mean 10? I said 15. No, you said 10. I didn't. You call me a liar? And there's this huge fight going on. Right? And then there's a merchant down that way, right? He points at the next guy across the way, and that merchant is like, he is all smiles and charms until it turns out the person decides not to buy the thing, in which case he is filled with the most raging, vile insults. Like, it's subtle because you don't necessarily see it until he points it out, because of all the massive throngs, the people, and the crowds. But when he actually points out, he says, pay attention. Right? A lot of these Duragar are manifesting subtle signs of madness.
Is he Duragar, or is he an actual dwarf?
He's a Duragar himself, yeah.
Dan's
Okay.
gonna look at Malachi and be like, "Told you."
I agreed with you. I
I
wasn't
thought you
disagreeing
didn't.
with you.
Well, I
No, I.
still. You know what? I
Why
told
would
you
I be disagreeing with you?
'cause
You'll
you do.
forgive.
You're right.
You'll forgive Master Dan. He's not used to being agreed with.
Or right.
And scrub a dub.
He says, but yeah, no, the place has definitely been flipped on its head recently. I couldn't tell you what's up. But if I had to guess, probably had something to do with that mess you got me out of back in Sloopadop. Seems a solid bet.
It is.
So what about
Yeah.
it?
Oh, I was just curious if you'd noticed if you
want me
had
to
any
settle a
like.
bet?
No.
Jim Jowson, not here.
Yeah, Jim Jar isn't here, so you wouldn't even. It wouldn't make sense to try and settle a bet.
Right. So
You look like a guy who keeps an eye out on things, though.
You
Yeah.
are very observant, like you know about ghosts.
ghosts.
Yeah, like ghosts.
Aren't you the wizard?
Specifically,
Oh,
grey
I know
ones.
about ghosts, but I meant like
Oh, yeah.
ghosts.
Ghosts.
Yeah, ghosts. Like where they haunt and stuff. Since I am a wizard and want to be looking into the like hauntings.
Hmm. Look. I might have dealt with a few ghosts in my day. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna be able to help you much. What do you want?
And just like where they are. Where they're haunting. Maybe like what they're haunting about. Kind of thing. You know how ghosts like to go in cycles. Like repeating the last moments of their lives. Kind of thing.
He says, yeah, that's... Look, even if I did know where they haunted, I'm not... Let's assume that I was good enough friends with these ghosts to know where they haunted, alright? If I was good enough friends with those ghosts to know where they haunted, I wouldn't exactly be interested in giving away their secrets, given that ghosts tend to be pretty lethal when they're upset.
Well, what if someone was going to be a ghost buster?
Well, if I was friends with the ghosts that were going to be busted, I can't exactly see myself being all that eager to tell you how to bust them.
Good point. This metaphor is breaking down.
Yeah, it is.
What if? Okay, so
Who said anything about being friends with them, though? I was just wondering if you knew about them. Ghosts, that is. Knew about ghosts. I didn't say you were friends with ghosts. Because you're observant. I thought maybe, you'd pick out patterns or whatever. But that's fine. You don't know. I don't have any ghosts that's happening here in Gracklestuck. No ghosts, guys! We can pack it up, go home after getting our package. Maybe... Wait, I said go home already. We'll do something else.
I'm starting to find.
Yeah.
Look, I'm starting to find it hard to believe that you were the man who saved my life.
Oh no, believe it. I'm very good at that.
okay, so I don't even know what what the fuck? Where did that go? Yeah, Ghostbusters. What the fuck? Okay, so as I understand things, and I'm new to the city, so you'll forgive me, but these ghosts had a certain role they fulfilled.
Yeah.
Yet I'm going to go along with the crazy that went down in Sloopladop seems to be affecting people here. And since those times, maybe that role within the city is has been somewhat
Corrupted.
changed.
Yeah, there we
Corrupted.
go. Changed. Corrupted. I like that better word better.
It's a fair bet. I mean, it's not like I talk to him every day.
So, well, no, but I
Who
mean,
does?
the corruption isn't affecting everyone,
Yet.
or yeah, as far as we know. So, I would assume that there are possibly people within this group that are maybe concerned with the changes as well. If you do happen to know people, then you might not be able to.
Oh, I got the metaphor.
You can't.
The
You
ghosts
cannot
are
tell us
restless.
about them. The ghosts are restless, yeah,
And we're
okay.
trying to help them find peace, kind of thing.
This is, tell you what, if I find anything, I'll let you know, but I don't really know anything much.
But if you could
That
speak
works.
to someone, you can give them the information that
Yeah.
we are.
No,
trying to
I will
help.
definitely,
Yeah.
I'll definitely give it a look-see. I'll see if your theory holds any water.
He'll see if he can look, because he's giving it a look-see.
Now, in the meanwhile, and he motions to his weapons, he says, on the house.
Wow. That's mighty generous.
This as well. I owe
oh.
you a pretty tidy sum, so...
Is there an upgrade to my crossbow?
Yeah.
Like...
What kind of crossbow do you have?
I have a light crossbow that I use for shooting things when I don't care to use magic, which is pretty much always.
In that case, you could, like... He has literally, like, any non-magical anything in the player's handbook that you can have for free.
I don't think there's an upgrade to that then.
The light crossbow? You can upgrade to a heavy crossbow, it does more damage.
Yeah, but it doesn't, yeah, but I can't wield it, because a wizard is not proficient in heavy crossbows.
Well then, no, you don't get shit. But you can equip your NPCs though.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so is there anything?
Darendil, we're attaching hand
Yeah.
crossbows to each of your claws. I'll stand behind you when you charge and hold the strings that pull the triggers. That way, as you move forwards, the bolts go as well.
Oh, do you have any silvered weaponry?
Silver?
What do you need silver weaponry for? You don't need silver weaponry. We're good without the silver. It's fine.
He says, I got a silver longsword.
I can't really use that. What does Jim Jar usually roll with? Because he at the moment just has his crossbow, right?
Yeah, he's got his own personal crossbow. Like he's modified it to have like a stock, and it's his rifle basically.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking like this is kind of scavenged stuff, right? Like as best as we can. So, is there actually anyone in the party that would benefit from a longsword?
Not with us right now. Ront, theoretically.
Ront would be better off with a greatsword or
Or an axe, yeah.
or an axe because he's got the two-handed thing going on.
I know.
So down the list, we've got Ront, who could probably use a two-handed axe of some kind. You've got the twins, one of which is unconscious, but both of which probably can use longswords.
Does he only sell weapons, or does he also sell armor?
He's an arms dealer. Then there's Bopito, you on second thought don't want to arm him. And then there's Sereth. Sereth is proficient in anything you expect to see a drow using, so short sword, long sword might work there. Jimja.
Could we give him a list
Yeah,
and come back to collect it on the way out of the city.
Yeah, no, yeah. You can hand him a list to be like that, and hit, like you'll write on the list, right, to equip all of your friends and yourselves, and like he'll look at you, oh boy. All right, I'm gonna call us even on this though.
Oh yeah, totally. It was just worth your life.
This is, yeah, it was.
And now it's worth your livelihood. I don't know. I'm just saying things that come out of my mouth.
I noticed. he'll take the list. He'll put it in his pocket. He says, "Yeah, I'll get that for you before you leave."
I thought I was being clever, but then I figured out, nope.
I appreciate your time and effort in this regard. It's noted. If there is anything we can help you with whilst we're here, then
This is
you're prepared to scratch our back.
Oh, totally. You seem like
I could make you a back scratcher.
You could.
I'm sorry about him. Like
he says,
we got to see Timbershot, and he's just been all excitable since. And then there was Drow in the city, and yeah.
Oh, what do you know about Timbershot's castle? Like, have you ever been up there?
his cave.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, I know a whole lot of people aren't allowed.
Yeah. Okay, so you don't really know anything about like the local layout of that. Okay, figures. I thought it was a long shot.
Can't say I do. Sorry.
It's cool.
So you guys will, now you've collected the package, you part ways with Hemeth. And the GM will know what he is doing. You guys head down to the docks, which is where you were instructed to meet with a particular guy, a particular Duragar, who is to collect.
Okay, yep.
He is supposed to collect the bribe for the captain not captain of, but one of the leaders in the Stone Guard that was trying to bribe you with for your freedom as you entered the city.
Was it Gorlak?
Gorlak. Yeah, we'll run with Gorlak. All right. So he instructed you to meet this guy down at this abandoned dock, and so down to this abandoned dock you go. The only thing that's really different between that moment and this one is, one, you don't have the actual axes you promised him as the bribe. You have replicas. And two, you're doing this after having informed the Flamekeepers that you were doing this. This is some pretty intense shit going down, because if you hadn't mentioned it, his corruption would have gone unnoticed. Simply sharing the information that Gorlak was corrupt has started to set things in motion. You don't have to be politically savvy to see that. How many dwarves have you seen here? Or how many Duragar have you seen here breaking the law? How many Duragar
have we seen?
Right, like, this is not a place
Yeah.
where corruption is going to be taken lightly. And the guy that was being corrupt was not he was not some peon, right? Like, he was second
He
in
was
command.
captain of the yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Like, he was a notable position.
In other words, they're gonna take care of him quietly, or this is gonna be on the nightly news, and no one wants that.
Right. So this guy's buddy, his partner in crime, is down at the docks, just waiting for you. What is the marching order you're approaching in?
Second. I'll be second. Darrendel's probably first, honestly. Because, I mean, bodyguard, tough guy type thing.
If we're doing this, can we see if Shushar could actually find Katana?
Yeah, well, we can say Shushar is out, he's out trying to contact Katana.
Like, because we don't know where she's gone to, like which
Hotel.
which area she's gone to.
Capsule
I imagine
hotel.
we have like an idea, but we don't know where she's ended up.
Yeah.
And he would need to find her to be like, oh, hey, by the way, they're going down to the docks to do the exchange, and yeah.
Yep. So...
Plus, he's a non-combatant anyway, so all he's good for is target
Yep.
practice.
So I'm,
Pretty much.
So I'm gonna guess you guys want Jim Jar out of the focus here.
Oh, does he find us?
I don't know,
again?
because he's kind of the one that engineered the deal in the first place.
It's true. Like Jim Jar will be around when you need him and able to vanish when you don't.
I think he should. Yeah, he's the one who brokered the deal.
All right. So do you want him hidden to begin with?
Kind of feel like he should.
Remember, this is not the person he brokered the deal with.
True.
That's
This is
true.
just the
That's true.
recipient.
So we just say, yeah, we're running the errand. This is the thing. So here you go. We're even.
Yeah, he should be in a vantage point that can cover us,
Yep.
if he can, and he'll know where
All right.
best
Who wants
to be.
who wants to roll Jim Jar's stealth check?
Yeah, fine. Talked me into it. Twisted my arm.
I did. Brutally. It was awful.
It was. I wish you wouldn't do things like this to me.
Well, sucks to be you.
It does. 5. Any botched.
All right. So Jim Jar is going to be hiding
God.
very quietly, guys. All right, go on ahead.
Jim Jar, we saw that. You're fucking.
You guys will be
never mind.
approaching. You guys will get about,
But
you guys will be. You guys will get about this far, right? When two large Duragar, already having enlarged themselves, will literally pop out of thin air with glowing blades in their hands.
What
Right.
kind of glowing?
Like energy glowing.
Like what color energy?
We'll call it purple.
Okay, I feel fine with that.
You guys are walking up, right? And just as he acknowledges the fact that you've arrived, right? Like he's been waiting for you, out of nowhere, these two cloaked Duragar will show up with these shining blades of energy, and they will descend upon him. Like,
Oh, right! They're flame keepers. Got it.
no,
Or they're ghosts.
you don't know who they are. You can't make out any of their features.
yeah,
they're
they're a
wearing
thing.
big hooded cloaks. They are certainly not wearing flame keepers insignia.
They would never do that. That would be illegal to assassinate citizens. Cities.
So,
yes.
What do
Assassinate
you guys do? Because if you don't do anything, the guy you're supposed to deliver the bribe to is going to be killed, which is going to render your mission here moot, going to look really bad on you, and probably upset the Flamekeepers, because this was their chance to get one over on the Stone Guard. So you need your bribe to go through for two reasons.
God
One,
damn it!
if the second in command of the Stone Guard doesn't get your bribe, you guys go to jail. Because he knows that you're full of shit on this whole slaves thing. And worse, you could wind up back with the Velkenvir Drow by the end of the night if this bribe doesn't go through. Second off, it's not gonna look good on you guys that you were sent to go do a corruption sting and just, well, he died, sorry. Oh, it was these mysterious assassins that showed up.
right, okay.
I have a plan!
Alright, Dan, what is your
How
plan?
convincingly do you think you can lie about me not sometimes being able to control my vampiric nature?
Ordinarily, I would probably be okay with this. However, I have... Yeah, I know what's coming. So, yeah, ordinarily, I'm pretty good at deceptive things, considering my background. But yeah, I think we just need to go in and interrupt them.
Oh, so
And-
just make it like, oh, there's witnesses, there's a silent killing you're trying to pull off?
Yeah, or like flash the badge kind of thing.
We don't want to flash the badge, because then that would alert. Because then that would alert the guy we're
We're
delivering
wearing
the package
robes
to.
with Flamekeeper iconography on.
Yeah, but
us.
that was like a thing that happened because of a stuff, and the badges will prove we're legit.
That was a thing that happened because of stuff.
Yeah, That sounds about right.
5,
We need to save him. Just get in,
4,
create a distraction.
All right.
3.
Dan will charge at one of the guys with the purple energy glowy swords and
Alright.
try and tackle him.
All right. Can you reach him? Yep, you can. Okay, you can move to this square right here that I'm pointing at right now. All
Yep.
right. That'll be 30 feet movement, and that will let you make an attack as well. Do you want to tackle him or do you want to feed on him?
I want to do the feeding, yes.
All right. So roll me your feeding attack roll.
All right.
Because if this attack hits, he's automatically grappled, obviously.
It's a natural roll. Oh my god.
You don't have any crits or botches lined up?
It's because Andreas
It's a
bought a
natural
batch of botches, so it's spaced out.
Andreas is the only person left fucking you up? Really?
No, not the
On
only
the
person
green
left.
side.
It's just the way it's spaced out. Oh, unless I'm supposed to be looking at it as...
Nope, you go with that first, and then yep.
Follow Zhang's instructions because he's looking at the sheet, and I'm totally looking at it as
Okay,
well,
so
guys.
it
I
is
know
a natural
exactly
roll?
what they're talking about. If Zhang says it's natural.
Alright.
So let her rip, boyo.
What am I supposed to roll?
Attack. 1d20 plus 2
Proficiency?
plus... 1d20 plus 2 plus...
Strength?
Strength, yeah. You gonna roll? There you go.
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Oh,
24.
he'll hit. All right.
Yes!
So, all right, you got what, an 18? No, you got a 24.
Yeah.
It's not a crit though. It's not a crit. Okay,
No,
so
it's not. But I automatically grapple.
you automatically grapple him. Okay, so you when Dan moves,
So hungry!
when Dan moves quickly. All right, you got to remember that he's not running like a normal person. He just moves faster than he should because his speed comes not from his physical ability to move, but from his unnatural state. So there is that moment of like vampiric celerity. And suddenly, he's behind the Duragar with the shining blade. Up close, you can actually see, Dan, that he's not holding anything. And you come down, you sink your fangs into his mouth, you're gonna roll me the d6 damage. And you're gonna take 1 blood point. You'll fill up your blood points by 1. He doesn't lose any... he doesn't gain any exhaustion until he's lost his 2nd point of blood. Alright? But he's grappled. And you've got your fangs in him. Okay, so that's going to mean next up, Malachi, Darendil, Jimjar, what are you doing?
I'm just very quickly checking something. What's the range on this rod thing that I have?
Oh, the staff?
Yep.
Click the button, it should say.
I don't have the tentacle thing that I picked up. I don't have it.
Oh,
hang
we
on,
didn't
it's
get you
here.
to... Yeah, hold on, I'm looking it up. It's going to be in the Velkavir Drow. It was Ilvara's before you stole it from her.
Yeah.
The tentacle rod, it's, they got to be within 15 feet of you for you to use it.
Okay.
So, Dan is feeding, right? You can stand there.
Yep, so I can move and do it, right?
Yep. And you're going to spend your action activating the rod?
Yep, I'm going to activate the rod and aim at the far guy. All 3 of the things.
Alright, click the button.
I don't have the
Oh, wait.
button.
We just covered this. I am
I
on
know.
top of this.
Now, I have to ask, do my botches apply to this? Or...
Yes.
Okay, so the first 2 miss, they're botches.
Yep.
And the third one is natural. So whatever the third one is, yeah.
27.
Alright, you're going to do 8 total. Okay, so the owner of the rod spends 1 action to direct 3 tentacle attacks at the creature within 15 feet of herself. If all 3 attacks hit the same target... Okay, so that doesn't matter. So basically what happens is you have this drow-encrusted staff with, you know, the engravings of Lolth, and it's made of a very sturdy zerkwood, and then engraved and emblazoned with all kinds of, like, fancy inks and paints, right? And you kind of hold it up, and you just intuitively understand how to use it, just to will it. And the tentacles that burst up out of the top, right? You know, they're usually a couple inches long, kind of like swaying like a decoration. But then you whip it like it was the handle for a whip, and these tendrils will all just like they will elongate, and they're dripping with oil. And they've got like grabbing suckers underneath the light colored underside, which is a stark contrast to the jet black wetness of the top of each tendril. And you will snap the whip, and the Duragar will he'll move out of the way of two, but then the last one will catch him right across the face. And it'll like the tip of the whipping will kind of like slash and like tear his cheek open, and there's a blood splatter on the ground. What do you guys want Darendil to do?
I feel like we got it now.
I want him to get in and get our guy out.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Rush in, grab the guy, and a fireman carry over his shoulder, and just keep moving.
All right, can he do that?
I don't know how. I don't want him. Basically, I don't want him to rage. That's what I don't want him
That's
to
a
do.
good call.
He can't reach the dude this round, but he can move in to start doing so.
Yeah, that would be fine.
I spend a blood point for him.
All right. So Darendil starts, like, he drops to all fours, because that's how the Quagget is most quick, right? So he drops to all fours, and he starts galloping across the shoreline, darting towards the chaos that is the energy blades, and the whipping tendrils, and the vampire feeding. Jimjar is going to go to take his turn, right? But what winds up happening is that since he botched his stealth roll, there's another one waiting for him, and he'll just, as he starts to line up his shot, a Duragar will phase in, clock him unconscious, and phase out.
Oh shit!
So you guys,
we don't know about that, do we?
Nope. So you don't know that Jimjar is out of commission right now. And that's gonna be, hey Dan.
Yeah, what's up?
Dan, this dude does not like being grappled right now. All right. So I'm gonna ask you to give me what is your passive athletics?
I don't know.
Zang, do I have any crits or botches lined up?
2 crits and then a botch.
All right.
What is passive athletics?
Assume that you rolled a 10. What would your strength-based athletics be if you rolled a 10?
Oh, 14.
All right. So he's gonna crit and break loose. All right.
I think he's gonna roll a 9.
Oh, are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm gonna use my other portent on him.
All right. So you're gonna use your portent here. Now you envisioned yourself feeding on prey that was going to escape, right? So what did you do ahead of time to make certain that he did not escape?
Oh well, it's the place where I bit him. It was in the muscle. You know, he was gonna like try and I don't know.
You knew exactly what twist he was gonna make,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Okay. So he goes to do so, but you've already got it paralyzed and fed on, right?
Oh yeah, I got him right in the spine, punctured it.
And this guy had so this whole time he's struggling to get loose, right? And like the black veins of corruption and Vecna's magic are like spreading down his arm and down his chest while you're drawing the blood from him. Duragar
may have
blood
forgotten this is a dwarf.
Duragar blood actually tastes pretty sweet, as it turns out.
Oh yeah.
You're gonna get an upside and a downside.
Yeah.
Upside. You can turn invisible. Downside. You are not allowed to break any rules, laws, or orders.
That's going to be hard.
Isn't it?
So the fact that I'm attacking a legal representative of the law right now.
He doesn't seem to be illegal.
It's not law, dude.
Okay, great.
No, they're not legal representatives of the law.
Fantastic.
All right. So that's what you get for feeding and drinking the blood, all right? But he's not going to break loose. However, this guy here is going to take his turn. He's going to hit his target, right? And he's going to... He's got his lightsaber noise going on.
You crit.
Yep.
Crit.
He crits because... Fuck you guys!
More important to ask,
But
what
knives.
is a soul blade? Oh, it's psychic damage.
Oh, that was wrong. Bonus damage for crit. 17. Ooh! He guts this guy. Rips the blade out, and the guy that you're supposed to be saving the life of is barely hanging on by a thread. His insides are becoming his outsides. The only reason there isn't more blood covering this sand right now than you can envision is because it cauterizes the wound.
Malachi, did you not grapple the second guy while I took care of the first one?
He tried to.
The
tendrils, the tendrils only interfere if all three hit.
Gotcha.
So that's going to be their turn. All right, Jim Jar's out. Both of the Soul Blades are have spent their actions. It's going to rotate around to you guys. What do you guys do?
Now I'm going to feed on this guy some more.
Roll it.
So that he's exhausted. Yeah.
Roll me the d6. You automatically hit. You don't have to make any attacks or whatever.
That should give him the first level of exhaustion and another 4 hit points of damage.
Does anyone remember what the first level of exhaustion gives?
I don't know, like -2 to everything, I think. I do not remember.
Can the chat...
But I might have it written down.
Exhaustion
Hang on.
Yeah.
Level 1, disadvantage on ability checks.
Okay, so he gets disadvantage on ability checks. That means that we are moving on to who's next? Who wants to take their turn next? Is it Zangmak or is it Darendil?
I think Darendil should just actually try and grapple the other soul guy rather than try and take this guy out of the way. I need to go in and heal this guy. So
good call.
he should basically go in for him and do that.
All right, roll it. He needs to land an attack in order to grapple. Will that be enough? Nope.
That was his main hand. Does he still get his offhand? Or
yes. I will let him exchange his offhand attack. That one will land. Okay, so Darendil, who has been galloping on all fours across, right, will come and he will go over Malachi, right? So he jumps up and he comes down and he tries to snatch the Soul Blade with one hand, right? And the Soul Blade ducks out of the way and whirls to start making another stab at the Durgar that you're here to save. And what winds up happening is while he's up like this, Darendil will spin so that he's got his back like this, and he'll come around with like a wide, like a motion kind of like this, right? From behind, and he will grab the dude in a headlock. All right, that's Darendil's turn. Now, Malachi, you want to move in and heal?
yeah, I'm going to move in and
That's a
cure
level 1
wounds.
spell, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Why don't you roll me that wild magic surge first to see if we get a surge?
Oh, first? Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be hilarious if you botched.
No surge. All right, so go ahead and cast your. It's just you don't need to roll anything. You just hit cure wounds. 1d8 plus your spellcasting ability modifier. Go ahead. 2 plus.
5. So it's 5 total.
Okay, so it's 5 total. So he lost 17, and now he's gained 5. He's still hanging in there. All right, but so you're gonna walk in. What does your healing spell look like?
So it's just a channeled touch. So with one hand, he'll grasp his pendant, his necklace, with the symbol on it, and he will then just kind of like it will begin to glow, and the glow will spread up one arm and then out through the other arm into the area where he's touching this guy. So his other hand is going to be like around his guts where the wound is.
Yep,
and he's just kind of like
the wound will start to like it's this huge gaping hole in his side. Right, like it's a miracle this guy is even alive right now, and it will start to like.
I thought you said it cauterized.
It cauterized. It doesn't mean it's not a huge gaping hole.
All right.
Get technical with me, all right? So the wound will start to like pull itself, not all the way shut. It is still potentially lethal.
Okay, then I'm gonna spend 2 sorcery points to quicken spell and do it again.
Roll me, and you know what? Because it's this tense right now. I'm going to say spending those sorcery points is going to be a separate roll from casting it. I want 2 surge chances from you. Yes!
Oh!
Yes! Oh! Yes!
Destiny tokens, people.
Son of a bitch! Oh, Andreas is left as well. Oh no!
Pyromancy
Pyro.
nails it. We didn't get the sound of it.
Pyro was the last one to use one.
Was he?
So, yep.
Why is my bot not working?
It's HM Wild.
Oh, it's not working because I'm the one. Okay, Serranus is in. Serranus! Because Pyromancy was the last one to spend a token, right? Alright, I need to. Just hold on. I am so. Okay.
Work.
Alright, now we have the sound effect. It's official. It's a real Destiny token. Alright, HM Wild. What do you choose to happen, Serranus? There are 100 different possibilities of what could go wrong right now.
Or
The spell still goes off, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, the reason the command wasn't going off is because I'm not on my broadcasting account right now. The spell will still go off, unless the thing that's chosen says otherwise. That's why we roll for the surge first. So he'll pick up 7 more, provided that the list doesn't, 47 to 48. What does 47 to 48 say happens?
Unicorn, bitch.
It's a unicorn.
Really? A unicorn controlled by the DM appears in a space within 5 feet of you, then disappears 1 minute later.
We got 10 rounds of unicorn.
1 moment. Okay, let's find.
He said he would as well. He said as soon as he gets a Destiny token, he's bringing a fucking unicorn in.
Fantastic.
All right, let's. Oh, apparently I have a unicorn already.
You have a unicorn stat block already. Nice.
Oh, no,
Dreadnought. Finally, the fucking unicorn appears.
Like, what the fuck?
How the fuck do
Meanwhile, in the Underdark, a wild unicorn appears.
Why is the what is? Hold on. They changed the way token searching works.
Yes.
How do I actually get it onto the map now?
You still drag and drop it in. It's the same
okay.
thing. It just gives you a random preview thing.
It just took me a second.
They do.
Okay, so we have the unicorn. The unicorn has a white aura because it is an allied token. 0. It is named Serranus. Show the nameplate. You can see the name. You can see both auras. All right.
It's gonna show up and be, Mistress, unsert greetings, and then gore some to her guarded death. And then we're like, shit, now we've got a corpse.
All right, so Serranus is a. Oh wait, no, hold on. The unicorn is actually. That's not the right name. Victor the Unicorn. I know what I'm doing, right? I remember this. Okay, so you go to, like, your hands are glowing, you place them on his body. At this point, you've almost got him to the point where he'll be stable, right? You've basically saved his life. But as you are doing this, like, there will be a surge of power, and there will be, like a crackle of unexpected energy that jumps out of your hands and actually smacks you right upside the face, sending you stumbling back for just a moment, and it will arc out next to you, and in a brilliant flash of light, suddenly, like, boom! In the crackling, there is this soft, glowing luminescence of a unicorn just kind of like standing with a horn sticking out, and it will like confusedly, Mother, look around.
Is that your Patronus?
Oh, I have 2 unicorns in the field. No, just the one. It will turn around like, Mother! Mother! It is very fucking confused. Next up, fucking unicorn. What the hell, Serranus? Fucking wild magic. This is why.
So unicorns are good creatures, right?
Yes, very good. They actually have healing powers.
Are they lawful good?
I don't know.
So
I think they're
the
neutral
first thing it sees when it appears, what's happening with Dan's character right now?
Oh shit!
just say it. Like,
I can tell that Zangmak loves you in this moment, Matt. All right, let's quickly. Do I have the monster manual? Let's both. I cannot wait till I cannot wait till I can use my actual hard copies again. They're currently packed.
they're still seeing the magic search table.
Oh, that means that I shifty eyes. This nobody saw what happened there. All right.
A unicorn is in the SRD as well, if that helps.
That does help, actually. Unicorn. Unicorn, alright, let's
I want
see.
to get gutted by a unicorn. Thanks a lot.
Charge. If it moves at least 20 feet straight forward, target hits, take an extra 2d8 piercing damage.
Oh, fuck.
Innate spellcasting. At will, detect evil and good. Druidcraft, pass without trace, once per day. Calm emotions, dispel evil, and entangle.
Wait, if it can at will detect evil and good, then that means it can detect that I'm feeding on an evil entity, so it's okay, because evil is destroying evil.
Unless I feel like being an asshole. Healing touch 3
Unless
times
you
per
feel
day.
like being an asshole, yes.
The unicorn touches another creature with its horn. The target magically regains that many hit points. Oh, you are so fucked right now, Matt.
Fuck. Oh, it's got healing magic. Fuck!
In its horn. Okay, so we're gonna say that it mysteriously shows up 20 feet away. Because
So
Matt...
For reasons.
charge.
Because it's almost as if Matt didn't watch the last episode of Hellmouth. In the way that this unicorn just appears a ways away, right? And it... Mother! Ah! And it will see this vampire feeding, and it will let loose this... Ah! Right? Of startled, and it's going to charge in. And the unicorn is going to... what does that have to hit? What is its chance to hit? What's your AC, Matt?
Probably not high enough. Hang on.
Oh, do I have any crits lined up?
Yeah, my AC is 16.
You have a crit line.
Yes! You are so fucked, Matt!
Fuck.
Okay, so, let's see.
So I wasn't planning on feeding on the Durgar until he's dead, but I'm changing my mind.
So you have a crit thanks to Tice.
Alright, so that's 2d6, a 2d8, plus 2d8 for the crit, plus an additional 2d8 because it charged you. So that's gonna be 6d8.
Oh, God.
This is non-magical.
I'm dead!
This is non-magical physical damage. So you gotta take half of
okay.
34.
Oh, okay. What is half of 34? 18, right? No, that's not right.
17.
It's not 18, it's 17. Yeah, there we go.
So Zangmak, how did you like that? How'd you like the last episode of Hellmouth?
It was great.
Wasn't it good?
Oh,
I heard
really
you watched
was,
it.
yeah.
I heard you watched it.
Bitch, I took part in that shit.
Pity what happened to Dan in this session of Hellmouth, though. Like that's really
Right.
rough.
I don't know. I didn't watch it yet.
Fuck me.
And that, keys, is why you should always watch Hellmouth.
All right. So it charges you, Dan. Right?
Wild magic can't be predicted. That's why it's wild.
Some kind of
God.
Dan is. He can see he's gonna feed on some dude, but not a fucking unicorn gouging him.
All right. So Dan, I'm gonna rule that this breaks your grapple because you are impaled on a unicorn's horn.
Obviously.
It's extremely... Oh, they're not magical, right? Because I said so, wild magic. It's extremely, extremely painful for you right now, right? And the unicorn will... Run away! It's a vampire! Run away! Right? So that
I'm
was...
just going ragdoll on this thing's horn while it's running around.
Yes. It's like...
I'm gonna grapple the unicorn.
It's like... Do you know what pronking is, Matt?
It's time to work on my Voldemort impersonation.
Do you know what pronking is?
Oh, Saran is telling you that
I understand. I already
responded.
responded and said, "Fuck off! It's
okay.
not magic." Do you want to die, Matt?
Well, not particularly.
I'm
But I
picking
did
on
make
you for
the
the fun of
backup
it.
character.
I'm not actively trying to kill you. I actively put this thing 20 feet away so it could get the bonus dice to charge you because I'm picking on you, not because I actually feel like randomly fucking killing you with a unicorn. I'm giving you an opportunity here to respond
quote
to the
that?
dire circumstances you are in. Do you want to play or do you want to die?
No, I want to.
Then shut the fuck up.
I am shutting up. I'm done. I was just seeing the thing and going, "Oh damn, that could be bad." I didn't know if you knew that. I wasn't trying to like get myself killed.
So I have a question. Has this
What's up?
happened to me before? A unicorn?
Unicorn.
No, but, you know, weird shit happens when you lose control. Right?
Yep. It's a stressful situation.
Here's the deal, Dan. if you end your next turn, if that unicorn gets its next action before you have removed yourself from the horn, it's going to release a healing touch into you, which is going to deal damage to you. That damage will not be reduced.
Right, no, I have a solution for that.
So yes, it's pronking up and down and like freaking out about a vampire. All right, what do you do, Dan?
Oh, I'm gonna Misty Step onto its back, and then bite it.
Gonna feed on the fucking unicorn?
It impaled me. Bitch has it coming.
All right, roll me. You're gonna cast Misty Step, but that's not. I would. As the GM, all right, I am going to give you the opportunity to feed on this in the same turn you cast Misty Step by spending a beat, simply because I want to find out what happens when the vampire feeds on a unicorn.
Well, Misty Step is a bonus action anyway.
Oh, is it? Then don't spend a beat. I thought it was an action.
No.
All right. So roll me concentration.
Let me check the support sheet. 5.
Oh, no! No, Dan!
Andreas bought me a botch. So there's that.
Are you gonna Misty Step back onto its horn?
I hope not.
No. The concentration spell is just to see if he can cast the spell at all in the turn he's taking damage in. Because he's fucking impaled, so your spell doesn't happen.
No, so I'm gonna use, I'm gonna burn a blood point in order to disengage.
Alright, in your attempt to disengage, I'm gonna need you to roll me a grapple check to escape the unicorn's grapple.
Fuck. This is not gonna be
that'll be natural. Your previous roll was a botch from Andreas. Your first roll is now a botch from Andreas, so this will be natural.
Oh, thank God.
So roll it.
What, I'm just a straight D20?
1d20 plus your athletics. So make me an athletics check.
Okay, hang on. You mean acrobatics?
No.
Do you get any, like, perks for being a Beckmeyer for this?
Let's see. 9.
Is 9 enough? 9 might be enough.
Oh.
Oh, Pyromancy says, botch for the Dan!
God damn it.
What is, okay, it has, you're gonna need at least a, oh, wow, okay, yeah, you're gonna need at least a 14 to get out of that.
Fuck me.
Okay,
so that's a 30, right? Oh no, that's
so I'm desperately trying to get off this unicorn and failing.
Matt always fails to get the unicorns off. Alright, you know what?
Not good with the horn there.
You know what? Here's the deal, guys, alright? Here's the deal. If this Duragar dies, you guys are gonna get arrested. If the Duragar dies, the Flamekeepers are probably gonna hold you responsible for missing out on their chance to take a position of power over the Stone Guard. If this Duragar dies, then you're giving the Grey Ghosts what they want, presumably. If Dan dies, Dan is dead. Again. Because of your magic. Malachi.
Oh yeah, what happens if you kill the Deinstein you're sent to protect?
If Dan dies, you've let Mistra down. Currently,
natural charisma rolls with advantage.
Currently, one of these Soul Blades is free to kill your objective. Dan, however, has failed every attempt he has made to remove himself from being impaled on the horn of the unicorn. Currently, it looks like you're going to have to choose between the Deinstein and literally pissing off all of Gracklestug. But to find out what happens next, you're going to have to tune in next week because it's...
Oh my
That's
God!
the end of the show right there, baby! We'll see you next week!